We're heading for his cabin, right?
That's right. Eyewitness testimony said Henderson kept a journal. It should tell us more about his activities on the final night.
I presume I'm looking for some kind of trunk.
Henderson had a briefcase listed on the manifest. With any luck, it's still in his room. Dr. Lynch,
Yeah?
why are we doing this?
$45,000 a day at sea.
No, I know, but that just about covers the costs of the expedition. I meant,
Looks like that's as
why
far
are
as
we
the
taking
signal
this
will
job
go.
in particular?
Well, put it this way. Why do you think she hired us?
Because we're academics?
Yes, but more specifically, we respect the history. It would have been cheaper for our sponsor to just hire a salvage team.
And why'd you agree to take it?
Funding like this comes once in a blue moon, and I wanted to see her up close.
This breach is from the impact with the ocean floor. Anything in here is going to be messy.
I'll keep my eyes peeled.
It's towards the top of the breach. Look for the flashing beacon. I really hope his briefcase is there.
I found a briefcase. I just need to pick it up by holding down one of the T buttons to interact.
WJH. I think this is it.
Well, that's lucky. Are you going to open it?
No, not here. Assuming there's anything intact in there, it'll start degrading as soon as I open the case. I'll have to bring it back to the lab before we can take a peek.
Okay, you should put the briefcase in the Predator's storage then. Just open and close the menu again by pressing and releasing the info button. The briefcase will appear in the ROV's inventory as a selectable item, and you'll have your hands free again.
Right. If this is the last task for today, I'll head back to the lab now.
Yep, just return to the submersible and you can head up from there. I can't wait to see what's inside. Let's get you to the surface. Activate the autopilot and get comfortable.
Alright, I'll see you in about 2 hours.
Okay, I'm back in the lab. I need to complete the tasks listed on the whiteboard by teleporting around the room and interacting with the recovered items and preservation stations. When I complete a task, the next task will appear on the board. I can rotate on the spot using the cross and circle buttons on the left motion controller, and interact with items using either controller. To teleport, I need to hold down the square button on the left controller while aiming at one of the chairs dotted around the lab. When the white square appears on the ground, I let go of the button and instantly teleport to that location. If I drop an item and can't reach it, I can use the tractor beam to recover it. I just need to hold down one of the T buttons while aiming at the item and it will move up to my hand. If I get really stuck, holding down both T buttons and move buttons will reset the items back to the starting tub while keeping my progress. If I'm not sure what to do, I can always refer to the whiteboard to see the next task. Our sponsor is calling at 8 o'clock, so I better get started by opening this briefcase.
Whoa, looks to be in good condition.
Let's get this cleaned up. This journal is pretty special. The pages seem to be a fabric paper blend. I think the desalination bath will leach out the salt. Then it can go into the PEG station before freeze drying. Looks like a receipt for a telegraph sent on the night of April 14th.
That's strange. I haven't found any reference to one being sent. I wonder what it said. Here's our sponsor. We can tell her the news.
Hi, team. How are you both?
Hi, Gillian. We're doing great.
We've just finished cleaning the artifacts we found today. We managed to access Henderson's cabin and retrieve his briefcase.
Wonderful.
Inside we found his journal, a few personal items still in good condition. One interesting item is a receipt for a telegraph sent on the night of the sinking.
Oh, that is interesting. I didn't know William sent a message.
That's what we thought.
It's possible it wasn't sent, and that it's still in either the purser's office or the Marconi room. We're thinking our next dive should be to explore these rooms.
I know teams have searched the Marconi room before, but I didn't think the purser's office was accessible.
Yeah, up till now it's been off limits due to the size of ROVs, but ours is small enough to access it. We're hoping we might find the purser's record book, with the message listed.
As for the Marconi room, other dives have shown most of the furniture is deteriorated, but the telegraph canisters might have survived.
Sounds plausible. Let me know if you find anything. I'd love to see the message he sent. I've only the letters from Southampton.
I noticed something odd in his journal. On the 14th he mentions carrying some special package, but I'm sure he didn't have anything reported in the manifest. Do you have any idea what it could be?
Well, in his last letter, he wrote about returning home with a present for my great-grandmother. I'll do a bit of research on my end. I can check over the manifest again to see if we missed anything.
Great, we'll let you know if we find anything tomorrow. I'm sending over photos of the items we found today.
Thanks, I really appreciate the regular updates. It's making writing much easier. We'll talk again soon.
Well, shall we call it a day?
Not quite. Gillian was kind enough to order in a stronger transmitter for our ROV. We'll need to fit it before the dive tomorrow. Otherwise, we won't be able to reach the purser's office.
I'll get on it now then.
It's waiting for you over there.
Thanks. I need to replace the transmitter in the ROV with the one on the table next to it. The instructions for replacement are on the posters behind the ROV rack, and I can access the lower sections of the ROV by lifting the rack bar up. I need to replace the transmitter in the ROV with the one on the table next to it. I need to lift the black hood to place the transmitter, then lift the bar up to put the sample container in the storage compartment. She's all ready to go for tomorrow.
Cool. I'll see you in the morning then.
Radio check, Wilson.
Coming in nice and clear, Dr. Lynch.
Great. First up is the purser's office on C deck, correct?
Correct. To access it, you'll need to head down through the hole where the forward grand staircase was. I'll mark it on your map.
The C deck is pretty compressed from what I've heard.
Yeah, the impact with the sea floor bent most of the supporting pillars, so they're struggling with the weight of the floors above.
With the rate of decay increasing, it won't be long before it all collapses. I'm glad we've had a chance to come down here and see it for ourselves before all this becomes inaccessible.
And she was sinking fast then. And all of a sudden she lifted up quickly, and you could hear everything crashing through her. Everything that was movable was going through her. And then she went down and seemed to come up again. So I thought, well, now I'm going to leave. And I was hanging on to a board. We had 2 boards, starboard and port, which said, keep clear of propeller blades. And I was hanging on to one of these, and I was getting higher and higher in the air. And I thought, well, now I'll go. And I dropped in. I had a lifebelt on. And I hit the water with a terrific crack. Luckily, I didn't hit anything when I dropped in. There were bodies all over the place. And then I looked up at the Titanic. The propellers were right out of water. The rudder was right out. And I could see the bottom. And then gradually she glided away. And that was that. That was the last of the Titanic. I didn't want to die. I mean, I didn't see much chance of living. But I was gradually getting frozen up. And by the grace of God, I came across a lifeboat, and they pulled me in.
You'll need to be careful of debris when descending with the Predator. It might make it easier if you position your sub so the lights shine down the void.
Good idea. Deploying Predator, starting to descend. Here we are.
Great. The purser's office and inquiry desk are on the starboard
Okay.
side. You'll need to go over the desk to get into the side room.